And then we can do comments and questions. That's okay?
Sounds good.
So this is for the South Londonderry Community Wastewater System. We will do the North Londonderry system. We'll have the same thing at a later date for that. So this is South Village only. Just as a refresher, the project starts up at the Prouty Land. For those of you who don't know what the Prouty Land is, it's where the town salt shed is. That's where the disposal system would be and the treatment equipment. We then have a sewer force main that will run south along Route 100, picking up a few service connections along the way for some properties. We continue down Main Street all the way to approximately 461 Main Street, also picking up connections along the way. This also includes Old School Street up to the town office building, Middletown up to the town hall building, and one property on Crescent Street. That is the full build-out of the south system as it currently stands. So that's phase 1 and 2 combined. We're doing the hearing for both of them. So this is the FONSI hearing. FONSI stands for Finding of No Significant Impact. This is a result of the environmental review process that we went through. We filled out an environmental information document that was submitted to the state. The state has reviewed it and has issued a notice of intent to issue a finding of no significant impact. I did just check right before the meeting started. It doesn't look like it's posted online yet, but I will get Eileen the link as soon as it is. And Eileen, you'll be receiving a copy of it as well.
Great.
The purpose of this hearing is to comply with the public law surrounding the FONSI process. So we are required to hold a hearing. We went through the description. So the environmental review process, we look at a whole bunch of different categories. I'm just going to go through these different categories and give a summary of what the impact is, if any, under the category, and what the mitigation factors or mitigation measures are for any impact. So we have environmental justice. That's looking at how the project's going to impact different groups of people that are within the study area. So in this case, the review showed no impact. I think for South Londonderry, the groups of people that we were specifically looking at are, we generally look at anything that has a higher average than the state average. So low income was one here, and age. So that's below 5 years old or over 60 or 65. So we had no impact for environmental justice. The second category is the cultural, historic, and archaeological resources. If you live in the South Village, you probably saw the archaeologists out doing some work a few months ago. That report is in review with the Division of Historic Preservation. We do not anticipate any impact based on the verbal review we got from the archaeologists. So that one, if there is any update from Historic Preservation, that will be included. It'll be updated in that document that I'm going to provide a link for. Land use, we have no impact. Wetlands, floodplains, coastal zones, and wild and scenic rivers. We do have some of the infrastructure will be installed within floodplains and floodways. Floodway is only where absolutely necessary, so it's in the South Village, there's one septic tank that would have to be in the floodway. Just because of the elevation coming out of the building, we can't move the tank up out of the floodway. Everything that is installed in the floodway and floodplain is going to be buried. It's all been reviewed for buoyancy considerations, so it'll be buried deep enough that it doesn't float. We're not changing any existing elevations, so there'll be no rise in flood elevations. We also do have a wetland buffer. There are some wetlands up at the Prouty Land, and there is a 50-foot wetland buffer surrounding those wetlands. We do have a sewer main that's going to cross through that buffer, but it's going to be within the road prism. So right along Route 100, the buffer extends out into Route 100, and then also the driveway going into the Prouty land, the buffer extends across that. It is an allowed use under the wetlands regulations to install utility pipes within road prisms without impacting the wetland or the buffer.
What does the word prism mean?
It's the way the road is built up. So generally, it's a prism. So from the road surface, from the edge of pavement, the gravel that's used to build the road up goes down on an angle. So we just have to be within that. Fish and wildlife and endangered species, there are, I'm not allowed to say any of the species, and some of them I don't even know, because the state won't tell me what they are. There are 2 to 4 protected species within the study area. We do know that they're all animals, but they're in areas where, so 2 of them are in areas where the only impact is going to be along the road. And so we are not anticipating a impact to any animal species when we move through on the road. We'll be moving through fairly quickly. And then the other 2 species are kind of everywhere. And in that case, we will be limiting tree cutting to November to February only to protect those species. There are 2 hazardous waste sites within the project area. One of those properties is the town garage, and will be receiving a service. The other property is just adjacent to the project area and will not be receiving a service. We've reviewed both of the reports on those sites, and we don't anticipate any impact with those hazardous waste sites. We also have urban soil background area, which is an area that's been mapped by the state. They didn't actually do any soil testing to map this area. It's just areas that have typically higher traffic volumes. So the Route 100 corridor and the general village area here are all urban soil background areas. So we will be doing some soil testing to see if the soils are contaminated or not. It's usually the top 9 to 12 inches of soil. It's due to vehicle exhaust generally. So we're not anticipating any impacts with that. And the last category is air quality, noise, and emissions. We have no permanent impacts there, but there will be some temporary dust and noise impacts just related to construction. Generally, most of the project is linear, so it will move along and not impact any one property for an extended period of time. So that is the summary I have. So if it's okay with the chair, I will. We can do some comments and questions. You do not have to ask a question. You can just provide a comment. If I don't have an answer for a question tonight, then I will not answer it tonight, and we will include it in a responsiveness summary. And I do need to ask that everybody who does have a question or comment state their name first. And this is not your only opportunity to comment. There is an opportunity to provide written comments. There will be a due date with that link that I provide. So that's it.
Any comments or concerns? Just not. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Item B, to adjourn the hearing. I have a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Wait a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Now I will call our regular select board meeting to order. Item 3 is additions or deletions to the agenda.
I have one to add to town officials' business. Oops, don't close that. Sorry, let me do one thing at a time here. Okay. To town officials' business, GI Beautification Committee approved bench request.
I move to add the request for the addition of a bench to town officials' business, 8G. All right?
EGI, but yeah,
Oh, okay.
just to follow the way that I've been building that part out.
8G.
Second.
Yes, please.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Is that all we got?
That's all I have.
Moving on to item 4, minutes approval, meeting of 8/18/2025.
I move to approve the select board meeting minutes of 8/18/25. I'll just read.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Select board pay orders.
I move to approve the pay orders for payroll and accounts payable.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Here's that. Item 6 is announcements and correspondence.
Announcements, Ski Magic LLC event permit, that's a, what do you call it, liquor license. Another FYI, is just for an event. The Town Hall Renovation Committee had a kickoff meeting with Anand Fidel, who will be the project manager for the MERP-related renovations. And we'll be meeting with him on a fairly regular basis. We were awarded a READY grant of $15,000 to cover the services of a contracted grant writer for the 3 CDBG DR grant applications. Yeah, I'm really glad. Those are due September 30th, and we've been meeting with her and Kristen and Tom and me for check-ins on that. Town staff and the road foreman met with Bonnie from the beautification committee and agreed about the location of benches and other suggestions. And the new radar feedback sign on Route 11 has been installed and programmed. Correspondence included in the board's meeting packet. The Windham County Sheriff's Office will host a regional policing hearing session on September 22nd at the Newfound County Courthouse and online. I think that's the last one. It's kind of a what do you call it, conglomeration of what he's learned through the other meetings he's had, and it will be online and at the courthouse as well. And that information can be found in the select board packet, and I think if you go to the Windham County Sheriff's Office, there's information there as well. And then a letter from the Londonderry Volunteer Rescue Squad to the select board urging them to do what it can to shut down the use of Magic View as a homeless shelter. That's all I've got.
I forgot to turn this on the beginning, but I'm turning it
I'm
now.
pretty sure I have hopefully been recording. Let's make sure.
Pamela Spalding from the Planning Commission. I'd like to announce that we're having a public hearing on the town plan on September 26th at 6 p.m. here at the Old School Street. And we have also submitted a letter to from the Planning Commission in favor of Tom Simmons in support of his letter regarding the Magic View Motel.
Anything from the town office?
We do. Tomorrow we get our shades installed in here. We chose a color and all that. We will be closed the 16th and, the 15th and 16th. We will be closed for training. So the town office, clerk's office and treasurer's office will be closed those days.
I guess I'll still be here, but
Yes. And then we are moving forward too with signs for this room as well as downstairs meeting rooms as well. So that is moving forward.
That's good. Thank you. Item 7, visitors and concerned citizens. Anyone? No. Item 8, town officials business. 8A, town clerk. A1, town office open house, 10/24/2025.
That's what I'm proposing, from 3 to 6. And if you guys approve of that time and date, I'll also invite all the committees have a chance to come. So it'll be like an open house and people can come and meet not only committees, but see obviously the renovations, kind of a meet and greet of all the different entities that make up the town, hopefully.
Sounds good to me.
GPI and.
Yeah.
Give it time.
This way.
Yeah, 3 to 6, in the, yeah, 3 to 6, yep. Yeah, we'll try to get the architect and GPI,
That'd be awesome.
so try to invite all that as well.
Go ahead.
Question, so you'd like representatives from all the committees to be there?
If they approve it tonight, then yes, tomorrow my emails would go out to all the committee members and suggest either representative or if they would like to come as a whole, however they would like to show up. But yes, that would be great.
Thank you.
Might not want to show up as a whole, because then we're
I
gonna.
mean, that's a lot. I would hope a representative.
Maybe you could stagger yours.
Yeah, stagger some people, but yeah, 1 or 2 from each committee, that would be great.
And
Yeah,
we'll
less
do
than a
some
quorum.
kind of-
Yes, yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
we'll
no, yeah,
have to
so we
warn
could,
people.
yeah. However
We'll
that
try to
works.
do some kind of light refreshments we haven't.
Yes.
Figured out.
Nothing too crazy, but yeah, something.
Anyone care to make a motion?
That there be an open house on the 24th of October. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
A2, Okemo Chamber of Commerce, continued membership.
We are members of the Chamber of Commerce for Okemo Valley. I recommend not renewing. I don't see a benefit. We're not really, we've done for a year. I get emails, but we're not really in that over a mountain. We just don't,
Yeah.
we don't get the draw over on the
I
side.
forget why we even did that. in the
At
beginning.
one point, they helped us get a grant.
Yeah, I
or
think that was
something.
what we joined in for. was
Yeah.
everything.
So we only joined them for that 1-year period?
No, we've been
No,
doing.
We've been members for a few years, but
3 or 4
I-
years.
No
Initially,
benefit? No benefit?
I haven't seen one yet. I've been here a year. I get emails for
No,
things.
but you take advantage of stuff that they've got going on. It's not just a one-way street.
I mean, no, I get that.
Yeah.
There's nothing that would pertain to municipality, I guess, the things that are offering. I wouldn't attend in my role. I mean, I'm the one who gets the, it's my email that they have as the contact, mostly I get, and a lot of
I
it
get
is.
their emails too.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but most of it wouldn't pertain to anything that touches the municipality, that they have offered in the year that I've been here. So that's my suggestion, it's not really worth an annual membership.
Do you have a like outlet or resource for things that they say that their membership is all about, like marketing, publicity, promotion?
I mean, yeah, we're VLCT, all those things are resources that are designed for municipalities versus
Yeah.
this is not. That's,
EDCC.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot that I think at our
Yeah.
resources that are,
So that's, yeah.
yeah, there's a lot there that
Yep.
that angle more towards the municipality versus the chamber.
Yep. Anyone care to make a motion?
I move to discontinue the town of Londonderry's membership in the Okemo Chamber of Commerce.
second.
All those in favor?
How much did we save?
152.
Take
It was
a,
152 a month or a year. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a couple of good lunches.
Yep.
yeah.
You could do it 100 times.
Hey, every little bit helps. Keep that tax rate.
Yeah.
8B, Town Treasurer, B1, review and approve auditor engagement.
Okay, so we got a new engagement letter because they came and we're over the threshold and we need to have a single audit because we've collected more than $750,000 in federal funds between the wastewater and FEMA. So we have to spend a little bit more on a regular audit, and then we also have to do a single audit, which they're prepared to do. And that's, was it 7,500?
I don't have it in front of me.
But Eileen also thought we might be able to get that reimbursed from
My
FEMA.
understanding is that any audit that's resulting from grant money can be used to at least reimburse part of it.
Yeah, so we're going to be about 5,000 over what I budgeted for auditing.
How much bigger workload for you guys is it gonna be?
It's the same.
It is the same?
Yes.
And have you done sort of a side-by-side comparison of this audit engagement letter versus the current one and know what?
It's pretty much the same. They go just a little bit more in depth. Every 3 years, we usually have a full audit. In the years in between, they just do a skim the surface. So it's, most of my work is done with them, so
Yeah.
already.
Anyone care to make that motion?
I'm happy to. I move to, number one, approve the engagement of Sullivan Powers and Company for auditing services for the fiscal year 2025, and 2, authorize the town administrator to sign any and all documents necessary on behalf of the town.
Second.
Third.
All those in favor? Aye. 8C, Village Wastewater Committee. C1 is discuss and approve Phase 1 connection recommendations.
Are you able to talk to that? Talk of that? Okay.
So you should have a few documents in front of you. A memo, a couple figures, and a tape. So at the Village Wastewater Committee meeting on Friday, the committee reviewed these documents, and basically my request to them was to prioritize the non-priority properties. So we've discussed previously with the select board the priority properties, the ones that are in the floodplain or floodway, the ones that are small sizes, very small properties, failed or failing systems. So those were all prioritized previously. And now that we're looking at developing bid documents for phase 1, it's not about the gallons anymore. Previously it was about the gallons. It's not about the gallons anymore, now it's about the dollars. So I need to come up with bid documents to include as many properties as I think we can cover under the budget we have, and then be able to add or subtract based on what the bids actually are. So what I asked the committee for was a prioritization of the different areas for the non-priority properties. So these are properties that are not in the floodplain, they're not very small in size, they're not failed or failing. So the 4 different areas were infill. So basically filling in properties, non-priority properties within the limits of the priority properties. Area 2 was going out further on Main Street. There are 2 properties beyond the last priority one on Main Street that want to connect. Area 3 coming up, the library is priority, but coming up beyond the library, there's 3 properties that have applied to connect here, including the 2 town properties. And then extending up Middletown Road beyond 22 Middletown Road, which is the very small parcel right behind the corner market. So that one's priority, but extending up further to the town hall is area 4. So the wastewater committee provided a ranking that they're recommending to the board. So the priority number 1 was identified as infill, as that would be the most cost-effective option to add services, add connections. Priority 2 would be the Middletown extension, 3 Main Street extension, and 4 Old School Street extension. And the reason Old School Street was put as 4 was because you just paved the road. So.
Fair enough.
Do you have any questions on that? So basically what I would do is I would take whatever the priority ends up being, if this is approved, I would use that to add or subtract properties as needed to maximize the funding.
It was a very thoughtful conversation about sort of what provided the best bang for the bucks, and The infill properties are a couple of housing sites literally right along South Main Street, which would be logical. The second is the extension of Middletown Road, which includes the town hall, which we are hoping will have a greater presence and viability and access as it gets renovated. But also we thought about Solo and what it offers in terms of economic impact for the town in terms of both revenue generating as well as housing. And then the Main Street extension are just a couple of properties, literally right at that, it's two properties just at the bend down here, a little further on. And again, the reason for the fourth being Old School Street is because they're basically town properties here. So I think we did a thoughtful job. And I would recommend that you accept this set of options in this order.
So do the extensions, in some cases, these will be built and attached to, and in some cases, they'll be, if it's not one that's chosen, or if there's a property that you're passing that is not going to be connected, there's preparation made for that connection, but no further work. Is that like how you cut off from phase 1 or phase 2, knowing that you're going to make that connection?
So the properties who have not applied to connect, we're not stubbing out to them. We would need easements to do that. So we're not providing stub outs to properties who have not applied. For the different areas, let's say the Main Street extension, that would actually require a main line extension to get to those two properties. So we would just stop at, I think it's 347, which is the
Stop at the
property.
last connected property.
Yep, that's the priority property
okay.
there.
That answers my question.
Area 2 would be the extension and the connection of those two.
Right, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank
Does
you.
that include the two properties farther down the road, down on the end of Old School Street?
They have not applied. They were contacted originally, but they have not expressed interest or applied.
I apply.
I'm a little confused about something. I understand that this is about getting the most connections based on what the costs are going to be, but isn't it still based on a 6,400 or something gallon per day maximum for the system?
So the state has, they haven't put it in writing yet, but the state has offered the town another $500,000 to install the pretreatment. That would allow us to increase the capacity to 12,960.
So this is prioritizing not the phase 1 but the phase 2 properties, theoretically?
Both. So we have the core group of priority properties that have different reasons for being priority. Beyond that, I have requested a prioritization of the rest of the properties so that I knew who to add into phase 1 up to the maximum amount of money we have. And then anybody that we can't fit in phase 1 due to budget will be in phase 2, which we are working on applying for funding for.
The number moves because we don't know what the bids are going to come back. When this goes out to bid, they're going to say it costs 2x or they're going to say it costs 1x. And this is our way of fitting the most number of people into the system based on what the bids come back at. Does that make sense?
I understand that.
Okay.
So on the extension, you said that's a main line extension. Is that going to be planned on doing in phase 2 still, or
So for
if we don't
Middletown,
do the extension, then it's just not going that far?
yeah, so Middletown, Main Street, and Old School Street would have a section of sewer main on them, but all three of these areas that the committee has prioritized would be extensions beyond. So we just wouldn't go, like we would go to 347 Main Street, we would go to the library. We would go to 22 Middletown. If we could, depending on the prioritization of this, so we would do the infill first, and then if we have money to do the Middletown extension, we'll do that. If we only have money to get to Solo, we'll do that. We'll do whatever we have enough money to get to.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, fine with it.
I think it makes sense too.
Would you like a motion?
Yes, please.
I move to approve the order of prioritization of service connections and extensions in addition to the core properties as provided in a September 5th memo prepared by the Winter Regional Commission as follows. Option 1 is infill development. Option 2 is Middletown Road extension. Option 3 is Main Street extension. And option 4 is Old School Street extension.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to 8D, recycling coordinator. D1 is review and approve solid waste implementation plan.
I don't know if you guys had a chance to go through this thing. I'm happy to go through it step by step if you'd like, or we can just talk in general terms.
General terms.
General terms. So basically, this document lays out all of the responsibilities of the Londonderry group in terms of solid waste and hazardous waste, electronics and so forth. So the functions of what's being taken at the transfer station, the hazardous waste days, the electronics days, also outreach to businesses, outreach to the community, on various different forms that are accessible to different populations, outreach to school. It basically lays out my job, is what it basically does. This is what needs to happen yearly and over the next 4 or 5 years while this is in place. Esther put this all together. I basically inherited it, but it looks really good. There's not a lot we can change from the format that the state gives us, really. There's questions.
And you already held a hearing on
We
this.
held a public hearing, nobody showed up. We held a hearing.
Do you have any concerns about it?
I really don't. It makes a lot of sense. It's things like we have to reach out to 15 businesses in the towns every year to make sure they have the information to know what they should be doing and how they can do that in this area. Things like that.
Any other questions?
None for me. Seems
The last step in having this approved, but basically they've adopted, then I put the whole packet together with some letters from the planning commissions and so forth, and ship that to the state, get that approved, and then we're good for 4 years.
I had a question, the technical question. There was no signature page on this, so you don't need them to sign it. You just need
No, it just needs
the
to be
minutes or whatever. Okay.
Yep.
Anyone care to make that motion?
I would make that motion. I move to adopt the 2025 solid waste implementation plan.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your work.
8E, Housing Commission. E1 is review and approve charge change.
Is there somebody here from the Housing Commission? So I think this was just a clarification of their membership clause. And it's just to clarify that there should be a liaison from the select board who will be a non-voting member is the main change.
Yeah, it's taking out an appointed select board member and just leaving planning commission and leaving a liaison from the select board, from what I can see.
Yeah.
I don't See a problem?
I'm happy to move it. I move to change the membership clause of the Housing Commission's charge as follows. The commission membership shall consist of 7 members, including 1 from the Planning Commission, who shall have a vote on the commission, and a liaison from the Select Board, who will be a non-voting member. Members shall be appointed by the Select Board and may include residents of other communities. All members shall serve on a voluntary basis.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. 8F, Recreation Director. F1, appoint Troy Caraway. Caraway, thank you. To the Parks Board.
Is it Troy or Tory?
It's Troy.
It's,
This says,
yeah. And
She gave
so
out the,
original, we gave, yeah. However, it
that was
says
the one
in
she
there.
gave out the end.
Okay.
just making sure.
Is she okay with this?
He is okay with it, yes.
Yeah, he filled out an application
Yep.
and I got it late, so
Make that motion, we're ready. I move to appoint Troy Caraway as a representative to the Parks Board for a term of 3 years.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. And this is an addition. Just to let you know, that's not next one. 8G, Beautification Committee, G1, approved bench.
So we met with Bonnie, me and Ally and Josh. Met with, well, a lot of the committee actually. And talked about a location, talked about the bench in general and talked about a location for it. It is movable, so it could be put anywhere we want, really. I think they decided it was out front,
Under the birch.
under one of the birches, out of the way of the plow. I was all over this because it seemed like a really good thing. I could go outside and work outside instead of in my office. So I highly approve of this bench. The top goes down so that you can use it as a surface, and then I guess if you got another one, you could put them together, and then they would serve as a picnic bench. So we thought that was fine. And
How big are they?
it's the regular size. I think it says in the packet. It's like half of
Like half of a picnic
It's
table.
half of a picnic table, so you could like fit 2-3 people on it.
Oh my, look at that.
Flips up like.
Oh, isn't it pretty? So nice. It is.
And it's within their budget, so.
And can I make a motion?
I move to approve the purchase of a bench, a very beautiful bench, in the amount of $257.39 for use at the town office.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Item 9, Transfer Station Solid Waste Management, 9A's updates. I don't have any. Not at this time. Item 10, Roads and Bridges, 10A's updates.
I would just mention that there's a lot of work going on around town. Winhall Station has had culverts replaced, so there's a few rough spots. I'm not sure if they're coming back to touch up.
Yeah.
But they actually talked to Josh about them fixing a few of them that are low, because that road is not getting repaved. Winhall Station is not getting repaved. So there might be some ongoing work there. Meanwhile, there's some bumps. Winhall Hollow Road has pavement cut away where culverts have been replaced, and will hopefully be starting paving in September. But meanwhile, there will be some bumpy spots there as the gravel settles, and I think it's marked a little better now, but and touched up from the first go-round, but again, continue to use caution on the Winhall Hollow Road. Langrove Road is also getting culvert work done, and we'll have paving and chip seal done in the coming, I'll say, months. And then there's also work going on Edge Hill. So, can't think of anything else, I guess, right now.
Getting a lot done.
We are.
Well, it's go time, because we know what's next, right?
And Edge Hill is just at the bitter end where that steep section is? That's what they paved?
Yeah.
Well, it will be, and then there's other ditch work going on there, stone lining, and some grant work as part of that process, I believe, so.
Good.
Did you just mention paving on Edge Hill Road?
So there is a steep section that, I'm not sure the timing of that.
It's
but-
a minor section, not the whole
Not the
road.
whole
They're adding
thing.
to the,
Yeah.
they're adding to the, isn't there a little bit of pavement there?
Yeah.
They're making it just go a little further.
The sewer road will be going
Just for the. it's
Goes
just
all
for
the way out there.
all the way out, yeah.
Good to know.
It's a very small project.
That
It's
was
like
for the grader, right?
$5,000, yeah, it's because the grader, the grader can't actually touch the dirt. But-
It's possible that it could be delayed if we could be 2 years from doing that, though. Is that in the North Village?
We should be in construction next year for North Village.
I'll ask about that, because there is some pavement on there, and there's work going on, so they were suggesting that we do it at the same time, but it doesn't make sense to take it right up. I would agree with that. So,
I'll have to talk to Josh about that.
yeah, I'll make a note of that. It hasn't started, so. I think it was like $5,000 or so. It wasn't
Yeah.
Doesn't
large.
get you much pavement.
No,
What's that?
it's
Which
not all.
doesn't get you much pavement.
No.
Is that all you got?
Yes, I believe so.
It's in the hands. 10B, review and approve edge striping overage. So, I can explain this one. It was a mistake by the contractor. He bid only one line per road instead of two. He completely messed up and he removed it. It's under a grant, so
The grant's for like
Grant's for-
33,000 or
yeah.
something like
I
that.
think it's 35 if I remember.
Okay.
Well over what
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
use anyway.
So it's not a big deal. It's well within the grant.
And he didn't do one of the roads that we originally bid for, so it's not, I think the original bid was 7,000 something, so it's really more, it's just like $3,000 more than,
He didn't do
It wasn't double.
right, it wasn't double.
Yeah, he didn't do Landgrove Road because he said with the chip seal and everything, it's just gonna be gone in no time. He said there's no point in it. So,
Yeah.
Agreed.
if anyone cares to make that motion.
I'll make it. I move to approve payment in the amount of $10,721.34 to Green Mountain Line Striping LLC.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. 10C, discuss Boynton Road, Hell's Peak Road tree removal.
So this is a project we talked about a little bit, and I have a price from a single vendor at this point who is, it's Carr Tree Service. It's actually Save a Tree now, but it's Henry Carr. And we budgeted $7,500, I believe, for the project in its entirety, and that was for the tree work, and then we thought we would use contracted services for the stumping and ditching. It's a section about maybe 150 feet long. There's probably ledge there, which is why it is the way it is. The price that I got for the tree work, because of the amount and size of oaks and maples was, I think it was like $9,500. It was a couple $1,000s over what we had budgeted just for that project. The Hell's Peak Road portion of that, because he would treat it as one project and he could do it for the trees that we talked about. For it was like $2,800 or something like that, and then it was going to go. If we did more trees on the same section and made a separate project out of it, it would be another like $1,000. Still less to do it all together than it would be if we separated it, but because it put us over budget, I just wanted to, bring it up and see what we had capacity to do. And I know that Henry would probably work with us a little bit, but it would probably reduce the project a little bit. Maybe we just do $7,500 worth of tree work and then be done for this year, and then budget the ditching and stumps and stuff for next year. It seems like there's probably not a place to grab that money at this point, so the options would be do $7,500 worth of work at Boyne Road, or do the entire project on Hell's Peak Road, which is just under $4,000. So we could leave Boyne Road completely alone and do it all next year, or we could, depending on what money is available, I guess there's.
Do we still have the contracted services?
We use that for
Winhall Station.
Winhall Station.
Yeah. So, say just do the $7,500 for the tree work, and then we'll have to budget for the
We'll have
rest
to
next year.
increase the budget for that next year.
The only consideration, I think, would be that Hell's Peak is a row of dead maple trees. That the other trees that are on the bank at Boyne Road are, they're primarily healthy, green, living trees. So I don't, it's really hard to anticipate hazards like that, what's more important, I don't know, but I think either one of them are viable, but we can't do both, so.
I'd say the dead ones then probably, honestly.
And you said the whole Hell's Peak one would be covered under that?
Well, so there's one scope is, there's a hidden driveway sign and a barway to a field that if we did that whole section, it would be the entire project. If we did just the day price and that was going to be tacked on, that would be the lower, that would be the $2,800. So we would probably do, if we picked that project exclusively, just do the whole section.
That's right.
And spend, he could pick and choose that, or the trees that he was able to do, and do it as a whole project. He might come back a second day or whatever, instead of just doing like a day's worth of work and tacking it onto the other project. So
that would do that whole section. That would do that whole section then.
So
Are
focus.
any of them ash trees?
Well, I mentioned that to him, and they're pretty small. I don't know how much it would affect the price, but if they did go.
That would be a place that we could take it from.
Yeah, I could have him identify the amount of time spent specifically on ash trees, and then that would leave a little bit more in the other line item. And I know, if that's budgeted, it goes away, and we just re-budget it for Boyden Road next year if we were to do that. So,
but the Emerald Ash Borer, that's fun, so that's continued.
So
that can go anytime. Yeah. And I didn't do, even though the Boynton Road project was over the dollar amount for the bid process, but I questioned the insurance of other local companies necessarily. I mean, if we were to do like maybe a Splund or some of the larger companies that are able to work in the electrical right away, the Green Mountain Power right away.
Yeah.
So we could do the bid process as well, but I know that he has the ability to work in proximity to those power lines. That's not a consideration for the Hell's Peak Road one. So if the dollar amount is less than 5,000, then we should be able to just pick him to do it, right?
Yep.
So I think that makes sense if we want to just do that lower dollar amount and do the other one next year.
Sounds good.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Okay. 10D, review and approve overweight permit.
It's just randomly came in. I'm not sure if they're doing work in the area and for making sure they dotted their i's, but we got it, so should sign it.
I think that's a new one.
Yeah.
Who was that? I don't remember.
Is that how you say it?
I think it's McElwain.
McElwain Contracting.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a new one that I'd ever seen.
yeah, they got all their stuff in. Anyone care to make that motion?
Sure. I move to approve the excess weight permit for McElwain Contracting LLC and authorize the town administrator to execute permits on behalf of the town.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
10E, discuss Route 100 sidewalk in South Londonderry.
Can you explain that one, please?
So there's actually 3 sections of sidewalk. One's on Route 100 and the other 2 are on Main Street. So you got that section of sidewalk on Route 100 from the 4-way intersection right here in South Village up to the first house. There's that laid up stone retaining wall there, and there's a little 3-foot wide sidewalk that's not in great condition. We checked with the state, and the state says it's not theirs, it's yours. So, congratulations. So if we were to replace it, so we're going to disturb that when we put the sewer main in. If we're going to replace it, we're going to need to include that in the V-Trans permit, and they're going to require that we replace it at the current standard, which is 4-foot minimum with 5x5 passing zones every 200 feet. The sidewalk's less than 200 feet long, so we'd have to have a 5x5 passing zone on both ends. The problem is we don't have 4 feet because of that retaining wall. So if we were to replace it, then we have to move the whole retaining wall back. Also, that sidewalk is too close to the edge of the travelway. V-Trans standards are currently 3 to 4 feet, depending on what Mark Pickering decides on any particular road. So it is possible that we would need 4 to 5 feet, which is moving that retaining wall quite a bit back. So there's that one section. And then the other 2 are, so from the house right over here, that's right up on Main Street, but you actually access it from Old School Street, but the house itself is like right on the edge of the pavement. From that house to Old School Street, there is another section of concrete, little spotty, also in disrepair. Same thing, we have that bank coming down there. In that case, you don't necessarily, you don't need the extra 3 to 4 feet that V-Trans would require from the edge of travelway. It's whatever your town standards are. But most towns still follow the V-Trans recommendations for sidewalks, and so you'd still need to widen that.
Yeah, we adopt V-Trans roads and bridge standards, so it's probably.
And then the third section is actually just on the other side of Old School Street along Main Street. There's a section of sidewalk that just kind of shows up and then disappears.
Used to go all the way.
It's in front of 2 houses and that's it. That one is a little bit further off the road. I'm not sure if we're going to get into that one, but I wanted to touch base with the board on those 3 sidewalks and see what your thoughts are on not replacing them.
I don't see a point in replacing them.
I think because of the confinement of the areas that they are in, I don't know that we even could. Like the bank down here is so steep, you couldn't make it any steeper, not have it be vertical.
And it's overgrown too.
I suspect sidewalks might get incorporated into the town plan or the visioning for the South Londonderry when it's revitalized, whatever it is. So my thinking is let's put this off. I mean, let's not worry about it now and let any bigger project that's going to come along that's sort of town plan based deal with that. Because I think we're just going to be patching literally a patchwork of stuff at this point.
At some point, they paved over this section down here.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of
And they
lawns
paved
kind of go over
section
it.
that went from the post office up
Yeah,
to
that's something.
Yeah,
the corner, because the sidewalk went all the way down to where it ends now.
I presume it was for the school,
Yeah.
when the school was here.
And I think if there are requirements to upgrade and or standardize or whatever the term would be, that wouldn't be part of this process. There's a lot more work to be done to get it done up to standard.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no sense in replacing them, the non-adhering ones, and deal with that separately.
Go
Do you
ahead.
need a motion of some kind? I wasn't really sure where to go with that. Okay.
I just need direction.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks your direction. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 11, old business. 11A, approved public hearing notice on 9/25/2025 at 5 p.m. for CDBG DR funding.
Yeah, so there's some requirements that the grant funds applications require. And one of them is that we notice the public that we intend to go out for these funds. And the public hearing notice has to show up in a newspaper at least 15 days prior to the hearing, and the hearing has to happen at least 5 days before the submission date, which is September 30th. So this is basically the only day that we can have this hearing. And I recommend that we leave the time and the date as it is in the motion, because I've already put it out to the newspaper.
The problem here, we're under such a deadline to get this done that it's just, there's no time.
That's fine. Do you need all of us there?
We need
I
a
need at
quorum.
least 3.
I know I will not be able to be there.
No, I'll be there.
The date is
Okay.
September 25th.
Yes. 5.
It was literally the only date we have.
Yeah.
Is that held here?
Here, yeah.
I can't imagine it's going to be a big thing, but you never know.
Yeah.
I think I could be here.
You ready for a motion?
I believe we are.
I move to warn a public hearing notice on 9/25/2025 at 5 p.m. at the town office for the purpose of hearing public comment on the town's intent to apply for CDBG DR grant funding. Such notice to be warned at least 15 days prior to hearing.
All those in favor? Aye. Moving on to item 12, new business. 12A, discuss using the Economic Improvement Fund to fund flood protection study. So, Christine Gabois from the state found us an engineer. We talked about this before, I believe, but an engineer who is willing to donate quite a bit of his own time to do a study on floodproofing the businesses in the North Village. This will just be a scoping study to give them the idea of what exactly can be done. And to lower the cost a little bit for all the business owners, I believe the cost, it's in here somewhere, it's $6,545, I believe, off the top of my head. Yeah, $6,545. So an idea that I've discussed with Tina and Eileen is the town would pay a little over half, $3,545, leaving the rest to the property owners to pay. And that would work out to $600 per business, but Senator has said, since he owns two businesses, that he'd like to pay for two, correct? So that'll drop it down to $500 per business to cover the $3,000.
What did we have in that fund, 25,000? Is that what we allocated this year?
What's that?
In the economic development fund?
I don't know.
That's what
Top of my head.
we allocated this year.
Yeah.
And
It was
there
already
probably,
We've been doing it for-
5,000
there's-
maybe or something.
well, we're doing about 5,000 a year, I think.
Yeah,
So there's probably like
that's four, so we probably have that.
35, 40, something
Yeah.
there. But I thought the thought was it would be a good way to support the businesses.
Yeah. I'm in favor. What's the number you want to put in there?
3,545, leaving 3,000 for the businesses to cover.
Somebody else do it.
I move to approve expending the amount of $3,545 for the purpose of funding a portion of a proposed feasibility study, flood protection and mitigation, North Main Street, Londonderry, Vermont.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
There we go. We'll be reaching out to you, Senator, and everybody else tomorrow.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, 12B, review and approve town office chimney rebuild proposal.
So we have insight to this one.
Yeah, I can
Came
do
back, okay, good.
So GPI had Black Magic Chimney come and take a look at the chimney. We need a liner for the chimney, and when they did their inspection up top, they need to rebuild the whole chimney from the roof up. And there was a couple other things in there as well, I believe.
Yeah,
But what goes up in the chimney? Is it the
The-
exhaust from the...
It's
oh,
exhaust.
it's
Yeah,
exhaust from the, yeah,
Yeah.
Propane boiler?
We knew we needed
whatever we have, yeah, oil or propane.
yeah, we knew we needed a liner, but then once they came and looked at it, they said it's just falling apart. And,
Too bad he didn't look when we were in the midst of it all.
well, they were having a hard time finding a mason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's the last big number I think we'll have for this building.
That's
Knock on
gotta be
wood.
done.
I think this is what
close enough.
most of it is.
For the foreseeable future.
Is he the only bid we got?
That's the
This
only
was
one they have.
so- yeah, I mean, this is through GPI.
Yeah, GPI
so-
called them because they were having a hard time finding any mason to come look. And I mentioned Black Magic out of Manchester. They did work on my house. Seemed to have done a good job.
Based on my experiences with similar projects, it doesn't, I mean, I read through the description of the work that's being done, and each line item seems consistent with like market price, or it doesn't seem totally off the wall. And it's not uncommon to have to rebuild above the roof line either. A lot of times the mortar cracks and falls out and decays, and that's where water infiltrates and makes it worse, so.
And it's probably the original.
I was gonna say, I don't even want to guess how long it's been, but it's probably long overdue.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were saying it couldn't be repointed, it was pretty
Too loose.
too loose, yeah.
Yeah.
Given the condition and the water leakage that was down there, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it sounds consistent with expectations.
Yeah.
And do we have that in the building reserve funds? Anyone care to make that motion?
Sure. I move to accept the proposal from Black Magic Chimney Sweeps to provide services relating to chimney repair, estimated to cost $20,205, And 2, to authorize the town administrator to execute any documents necessary for the hiring of the contractor to conduct the necessary work.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. 12C, discuss select board meeting schedule and public hearings.
Okay, so this is somewhat related to the CDBG-DR funding, as well as a need for the planning commission to move forward in their zoning bylaws process. Somewhere along the way, we remembered or discovered that the town plan expires on October 2nd. We need to have a current town plan in order to apply for the CDBG-DR funding. Fortunately, the application is due on the 30th, so technically the plan would be still current, but it's a good faith effort and to get it rolling. The Planning Commission did some heavy lifting, fast lifting to get the plan updated. They're going to have a hearing on the 26th. And then the process is that the select board accepts that plan from the Planning Commission and then warns a public hearing of your own and then approves the plan. So I am hoping that you are amenable to possibly meeting on 9/29 at 5 p.m. to accept the town plan and to warn the public hearing, which would then be on 10/29 at 5 p.m. That would be the 10/29 would be the public hearing, and then you would adopt the town plan, assuming that there were not substantive changes.
And one thing we discussed even was just moving the next select board meeting to the 29th. Or we can do it, because their next regular schedule is 22nd.
Yeah, they would do that too.
Yeah. That way we don't have 2 meetings Mondays in a row, or we can just do 2 meetings.
What time was 196? Earlier that.
So it's up to you. If you're just doing, I'm in October now. If you're just, now I'm in November, sorry.
Yeah, you guys have a meeting that day.
Yeah, we have a meeting that night, but if we have the agenda much like what you had tonight with the wastewater public hearing coming first and then our regular meeting, I haven't run, of course, this by Jen, then the 29th would work.
The 29th, okay.
Would work better. I need to contact Jen, but.
So, so do you want to, I guess those the 2 options are either you have a separate public hearing on the 29th.
Or move the select board meeting to the 29th.
Right.
Whatever.
I don't think there's anything time sensitive that we have on the agenda on the 22nd that would make this.
Does it, the public hearing is not going to be a lengthy process, so
One assumes not, unless people are really upset about the town plan. It's really just the bare minimum, as long as the public and everyone understands, it's a very bare minimum updates that they did in order to readopt it, and they plan to go back to it and do, a more substantive change after they've done the zoning bylaws. So
Shouldn't be.
it really shouldn't be a lot of time.
Or we have 3 meetings in a row on Mondays. That's the other option.
I might do everything on the 29th.
Hold them all up, get them done.
switch the meeting on the 22nd to the 29th and include the public hearing?
Okay.
But to do that, we would have to do the public hearing, because your meeting would be at
Before.
6 too.
But you're saying that if we did it at 6
Well,
and,
our public hearing is on the 26th.
right,
So if we also combine that, our next, because of the September, our next meeting would have been the 29th, but if we do the 26th and do a regular meeting on that night, because there's really not all that much until, and then the select board could do theirs on the 29th, and then everybody gets back on select board first and third Mondays, and
yep,
That's great.
does that work?
I think so.
Our meeting would start at 6 on the 29th?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to be available, unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay. I think you should make a motion to that effect.
We need 2 motions?
Yeah, what was the other one?
The other one was, well, no, you only need to make one because at the 9:29 one, you're going to warn the meeting for 10:29.
So we're just separating, changing the meeting and
So you just
adding the hearing?
need to make a motion to change the special meeting. It's already a special meeting on 9/22. Change the date and time for the 9/22 meeting to 9/29 at 6 PM.
Yeah, it is a special meeting because we changed.
It's already a special meeting,
No,
yeah.
there's some cool items taking it for 1029.
So that's the change is one of them, and then another motion is to hold a public hearing on the 29th.
No.
No, we're just,
We're
we're
gonna
setting the
warrant,
date
so
for-
just setting the date for so on 9/29, one of the agenda items is going to be accepting the town plan from the planning commission and warning a public hearing for 10/29.
Okay, I got it.
I was trying to finagle it in some way that like you could warn the meeting before they actually approved the plan, but it didn't seem like that was a good way to go. So we're just doing it in order.
Isn't this the ninth one?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Isn't this the ninth one?
1029.
The 9th month of September, yes.
What?
Getting way out ahead of myself.
So what's the meeting on October 29th?
That's
That
the
would be
hearing.
That would be the public hearing to,
The select board public hearing for the town plan.
right. So in that here, so that would be a hearing and then there would be an agenda item to adopt the town plan. And then hopefully we can move on with our lives and have no more public hearings for a while.
Jen said she was fine with those changes.
So we need a motion to move the special meeting from the 22nd to the 29th.
Yeah.
I would make a motion to move the special meeting from September 22nd to September 29th.
All those in favor? Aye.
Okay, thank you.
12D, approve rock-up coin drop.
No problem there, right?
Evening, folks. We've brought a little extra with us, if you don't mind, because it's been a little while since we've actually done this. We brought visual aids. Forgive us if it looks a little bit like 5th grade project time, but this is kind of how we usually go around letting people know what we do. A lot of folks don't realize how important your help with us, with the coin drop every year, how important that really is, especially this summer, based off what has happened here in this state. For those who don't know, Ruck-Up got started 16 years ago when a bunch of veterans got together in a park just outside of Keene and went, well, vet center isn't going to build, or VA isn't going to build a vet center, we'll do it ourselves. That's how we got started. What we turned into, though, is 3 programs within one big project that helps take care of veterans throughout all of New England. When I say it's become very important, one of those biggest pieces is not just the counseling work we do or the advocacy and claims work that we do, but also now the homeless and outreach programs, which is a huge impact right now. Why? Because a lot of folks in this state don't realize, as of this summer, there is no longer a Vermont Veterans Assistance Fund. It's gone. Right after 9/11, the state legislature and the Vermont Guard did a phenomenal job putting together a program that has existed almost 25 years. That was there and in place to help not just Vermont Guardsmen, but Vermont veterans in case of economic crisis. Now, the State Veteran Affairs Office in Montpelier is still providing to anybody who's been a vet or grew up here in Vermont and moved elsewhere and was a veteran, a one-shot $500 assistance. Here you go. Don't fall on your sword ever again. But the fund itself is gone. The people who were actually helping to monitor, case manage, run the funding, all gone. Easter Seals is now having problems because they don't have as much direct funding. Friends of Veterans, who I was involved with 20 years ago when Tim Beebe and some folks up at the Vet Center in White River got it started, they're struggling with funding. We're not so much. And in large part, that's because of you folks. That coin drop that you let us do once a year makes a phenomenal difference. For those who haven't already met George before, George has done one hell of a job. Sorry if I offend anybody, but there's no other way to say it. Being our vice president for fundraising for the better part of 8 years now. Okay? He has been spearheading all the coin drops, working with me on not just those, but motorcycle events that we work with. We work with the combat motorcycle vets, the American Legion Riders. We also work with, believe it or not, the Jarheads. Why? Because everybody's realized it takes everybody's help and assistance to make this all go. The flyers you have in front of you is a copy on the back of the annual report we're required to file with the Attorney General's office every year. We don't just do a 990 to the feds. We also make sure the AG's office gets their report. $93,000 last year alone went out of our doors helping to assist veterans throughout all of New England. Over 3 tons of food and clothing and shelter items went out of our doors to help take care of veterans throughout New England. Vermont is a very big part of that, folks. And without your help and assistance letting us do the coin drop, we would fail in that mission. There is no subtle way to do it. George watches me fret terribly every year over making sure the Excel spreadsheet and everything fits right. 25% of our funding, believe it or not, is the motorcycle events. 25% is the coin drops, in large part because George worked his tail off getting them established the way that he did it. Without Londonderry, we'll fall short. So we need your help, and we're hoping that you folks are willing to let us come to your town and do another coin drop this year.
Can I ask what you raise each time you're here in Londonderry?
The average right now for Londonderry is $2,300, but that is the last several years all combined and then divided now. Okay, we literally, and again, he knows because I do an Excel spreadsheet that drives the board nuts. We literally track every single event and exactly how much is going in and how much is going out. Why? Our joke with our treasurer and I is we really don't want to go to jail. And we're one of those nonprofits that is a firm believer in putting our money where our mouth is. A lot of people have gotten a very bad sense from some organizations out there when they find out that there are directors that make money, or there are organizations like Wounded Warrior who have oversized overhead. Well, again, people don't realize they have counselors and therapists, similar to myself and Ms. King. They also have doctors, they have physical therapists. We don't have that, we just have the mental health staff. But again, everybody on staff, to include us, is absolutely unpaid. Nobody catches a paycheck, nobody gets a salary. We do what we do because it is the absolute right thing to do. To tell you how important that is, last Tuesday we helped a family in the St. J area. Dad is deploying in the next 6 weeks. He is headed straight to the Middle East. Okay? Mom just returned to work after medical leave. We just helped put their water back on because there wasn't anybody else to turn to. That's how important your coin drop is to us. Hope that answers your question. Thank you. That's us, folks.
I'd like to thank you guys for all you do.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And again, I apologize. I know it's a little 5th grade, but it kind of gives you the hint.
What are the dates?
The dates right now we're looking at, hopefully, is the 18th of October, and then a rain date, obviously, the following Sunday, the 19th.
And you've gotten, you were able to reach out to V-Trans?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
We've got
good.
all your paperwork, we've got everything in hand,
Good.
including the expenditure.
Perfect.
I was waiting for the insurance and I just got today, so I can send that all over.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And part of the juggling, and I apologize, that's why we're a little bit late, we're also the only 2 counselors that the office has, so sometimes we can't be everywhere at once.
Yeah.
Any other questions, folks?
Thank you very much.
They have to have a letter from you folks saying that it's okay for the coin drop, and then he's got to be approved by Lieutenant French at Westminster State Police, and then once that's signed, it'd go to Mac Pickering
Yep.
at Dummerston, and be signed by him.
It's not Matt anymore.
Not mine anymore.
No,
It's the other guy.
it's the other young fellow that's taking his place.
Yeah.
So, but anyways,
And then Mike and Tammy's the parking.
I already spoke with Mike and Tammy, not a problem. So it's the 18th of October?
18th of October, sir.
Let's go for it.
So we run our fundraising every year from literally Memorial Day. We start that very Saturday of that weekend with a coin drop in Keene, New Hampshire, so don't feel that Vermont's doing all the work. Keene's coin drop on an average right now is running 6,500 over the last several years. But we start with Keene, we go all the way from Memorial Day all the way into Veterans Day. We end our fundraising season with a suicide prevention walk that we do in Keene, but all the proceeds go to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
Which is all of that side of the
Yeah, that's
board.
the green side. So.
And one last thing, if anyone has vets in their families or they know anybody who's a vet, if you open this, there's a release of information that you fill out and you can either email or send a picture, and we will get to work to whatever they need, whether it's outreach, claims work, or counseling. But this is the other part of it.
We follow the rules that Tim Beebe and the team that built the White River Vet Center had literally posted over their door 30 years ago, which is help without hassles. That's been our goal since we opened our doors. Anything else?
Much appreciated.
Absolutely. We'll approve this every year, I believe. That's the reason not to.
Right.
I'd be proud to make that. I move to approve the request from Rock Up Inc. to hold a coin drop fundraiser on Vermont Route 11 in the vicinity of Hell's Peak Road on October 18th, 2025, with a rain date of October 19th, 2025, subject to provisions prior to the event of acceptable written proof of adequate liability insurance and written proof of authority to conduct the event from the State of Vermont Agency of Transportation.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you again.
Thank you.
12E, approved town hall facility use, Weston Theater.
So they're doing, what are they doing?
They're doing 12th night, and they lost their rehearsal space that they were using previously, so.
12th night as a musical.
Yes, it's a musical.
How did it work out the last time they used it?
Great.
And you worked out well,
Haven't
yeah.
had a problem with them yet? You care to make that motion?
I had a season ticket in Weston, I can tell you, at every show, they thank their sponsors, and they always have a big thank you for the town of Londonderry.
Good to hear.
Nice.
I'm happy to move it. I move to authorize the use of the town hall for rehearsals between September 6th through the 21st, and to authorize the town administrator to sign the facility use agreement on behalf of the town. It doesn't mention Weston Theater in there, but I think you're right now. So, yeah.
You're right, it doesn't.
That's okay.
Second.
Seconded anyway.
All those in favor? Aye. 12F, approved town office facility use, PVR for 9/8/2025.
I hope you approve this because we already had our meeting today.
What's PBR?
PBR is,
Property valuation and review.
thank you. And the Regional Assessments District stakeholder meeting is a meeting it's a stakeholder meeting for the proposed idea for regional assessment districts. You may have heard of that. And they're holding a series of meetings. And both Jeremiah and myself are on that stakeholder group. So we had a good meeting today.
I would make that motion if we're ready.
Sure, I'll move it. Move it right out of the way. I move to authorize the town office for the Regional Assessment District Stakeholder
Jim's
Meeting
on fire.
on 9/8/2025, and authorize the town administrator to sign the facility use agreement on behalf of the town.
All those in favor? Aye. And 12G, discussion on a presentation from Todd Manise on Williams Dam. Todd Manise works for the state of Vermont. He works in the Department of Environmental Conservation. One of the things he does is dam removal and presentations on what the fire company can do for water sources. I talked to him on the phone. He said in any project he goes into, his first aspect that he looks at is public safety. So he'd like to come to town and just do a presentation.
The more we find out about Williams Dam, the better off we are, aren't we?
Yep. He'd like to do it in mid-October, if that's possible. Figured we'd just do it in have the presentation by itself.
Seems,
I think the more people you can get to come and listen, the better.
Yeah.
keep the conversation going too. It's something that's got to stay on the table until it's taken care of, so.
Been on the table a long time, it's easy to forget about it.
Well, I hope we can bring it to a vote, whoever needs to vote, or whoever we decide will make the vote, but I hope we get through this process.
Agreed.
Second that.
So everybody's on board with that, I will connect you with Todd and we can arrange a date for it.
That'd be great.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
And the last one, who wants it?
I move to adjourn.
All those in favor?